such bad writing. Come on.
You're still listening. This is our final transmission.
We're here. It's me, Sam Russo. It's Jamie Carruthers. It's the Final Transmission podcast. It's one horror movie a week from the dawn of time till the end of time. Jamie, how you doing?
I am doing so well. We just had an amazing chat that you would only hear if you listened to the Patreon. We talked about parental abandonment, shiny cars,
Jim
Kevin
Davidson.
Smith, and Jim Davidson.
Good bants, people. Well worth a couple of quid a month, a couple of quid a year even. Get in there. Get on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How about you, Sam? How are you doing?
I think you're underselling how well you're doing, Jamie. You've been a very productive member of society today. Well, every day in many ways. And I think you're killing it. And I think very highly of you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I noticed that you avoided the question.
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Fucking, I don't know. I feel it's a strange one. I feel a little understimulated.
Oh, is that anything to do with the movie that we're covering this week?
Wouldn't you like to know? No, I think, I don't know, man. Like, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm very, very grateful to be alive. I just, I feel like need to scratch an itch. I've got a great parcel to open after this podcast ends.
Nice.
Very excited about that.
Is it because it's like quite nice and sunny outside and you're sat in your spare room talking to me about a late 80s standalone slasher movie?
It's entirely possible I've had too much screen time. You know, listeners, you know that Jamie and I are not landed gentry or podcast millionaires. So we have full-time day jobs and we finish them. We rotate our chairs 3 inches to the left and we start podcasting immediately. So it's a lot of time indoors. You might be right. I think I need to get out and smell the world.
Yeah. Touch grass, as the kids would say.
Yes, smoke the roach, as Whitmore would say.
Fucking Whitmore.
Whitmore practiced in the same practice space that we practice in now, so their stickers are everywhere. Everywhere I look, there's a Whitmore sticker.
I had a Whitmore t-shirt when I was a teenager.
Good Lord, why?
I don't know. I think maybe I found it.
Right.
And the O was the chillum of a pipe. And it was like underlined with the pipe bit of the pipe. A weed pipe, not like a...
Not a cool pipe, yeah. I can't wait to smoke a pipe. Oh, boy. Do you know
I had a little pipe phase.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was like maybe 20, 21, 22, I was like,
wow.
I'm going to be a pipe guy.
That's hipster as fuck.
Yeah, I think it was pre-hipster.
What kind of tobacco did you smoke?
Don't remember.
The
cheapest tobacco I could find.
Yeah, I made the huge error of thinking you could smoke pipe tobacco in rollies when I was younger, and I smoked black cherry pipe tobacco in rollies for like a good year. It fucking nearly killed me. I was like, wow, smoking's really rough.
You strike me as the sort of person that when you did smoke, you would use those like weird brown rolling papers.
Oh, I hated those. My dad smoked those for years, the licorice ones. My brother smokes those. Nah. I mean, like if someone rolled me one, I'd smoke it, but it's not for me. Not for me. I strike me as the kind of person who would love menthol.
Do you? You strike yourself as that?
Yeah, I wanted to, but I couldn't get into it. Do you remember those cigs where you used to squeeze the filter and the little ball would pop and it would become a menthol cig?
Yeah.
You could smoke half of it, then pop the ball, and you'd have dessert.
They bunned those. They bunned all menthol because it was too fun.
Oh.
And smoking's not allowed to be fun
anymore. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Do you know what we're doing? We're doing the thing I hate most about podcasts is a long, completely unrelated preamble that you just skip.
All right, well, let's talk about the movie that we're covering this week. We're talking about 1989. So that's when it was released in the UK, at least. I think it was released in Spain a little bit earlier, in 1988. But it's 1989's The Edge of the Axe.
You might be wondering why it was released in Spain, right?
Well, I'm not, but they might. It was a Spanish-American co-production directed by Jose Ramon Larraz.
Nice work.
He's a director that's made a few films that I like.
What film? See, this is what I'm very interested in. I had no idea Should we go full disclosure? We were going to do a different film, but it's really hard to get hold of, and we didn't want to put people in a tough spot. So Jamie was asking me what I wanted to do. I had all bad ideas, obviously, and then you sent this and said, this is on Prime, which makes it easy for people. So I assumed you just you were at the absolute end of your tether on a long day. You didn't want to deal with my bullshit. You just flicked your thumb to the nearest horror and said, this is on Prime, let's watch it. But then as soon as I finished it and opened the IMDb, I was like, oh, fucking Jamie knows loads about this. He's going to know the director. He's going to have watched all these movies. This is going to be his shit. Is that accurate?
I mean, I've not seen loads of his movies, but I've seen a couple. There's a couple of movies in his filmography that I haven't seen that I'm going to make a mission to see.
Oh, yeah? Can I guess?
Yeah. Go on, have a guess.
I've got the filmography open here. I'm just going to have a brief scroll. The Coming of Sin.
That's teetering on the edge of it. There are two that have much more
okay, all right.
lascivious titles.
And Give Us Our Daily Sex?
That's one of them.
That's what it might be. The other one's got to be... it's a tough one, bud. It's kind of slim pickings here. I'm going to go with The Golden Lady.
No, it's The Violation of the Bitch.
I didn't even see that one. Dang it. I didn't even effing see you, man. It's a super bad reference. Oh, I can't even see that one. I must be looking at the wrong shit. Yeah, I mean, they both, based on title alone, sound superb.
Yeah, they both have 5 or less out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, it's worth noting this doesn't have a barnstorming in numerical rating on IMDb. It's 5.3.
Yeah.
Which is low even for us, I would say. And it's well below the threshold that Claire will watch a movie with me. So she was spared the edge of the axe in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So your first viewing.
My first viewing, yeah. I'm assuming it was also your first viewing.
Yeah, I had seen this on Prime. I'd seen the cover, read the little blurby bio, never been quite pushed hard enough to watch it until now.
Well, I'm interested to find out how bad you think it is, or how good you think it is. I mean, it is a late 80s slasher movie set and shot for the most part in California. There are some beautiful there are some beautiful views of Big Bear Lake.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's something in there for Sammy, even if there's a lot in there that is for Jamie, I think.
I think it's your time to shine, Jamie. I can feel a synopsis coming on from you right now.
Sure. Okay. So in the small town of Paddock, is that right? In Northern California. Is it Paddock County, maybe?
It's
in
a small
Paddock County.
Northern California mountain community.
Yeah. Well, that's what IMDb says.
Yep.
But I think it's called Paddock County. There is a bunch of characters that some of them speak English, some of them speak dubbed, because they're definitely Spanish actors. Somebody, for some reason, is putting on a mask and killing people with an axe only. And characters look very suspicious throughout the movie. And that's it. That's the movie.
That's the movie, yep. You don't need any more than that. You don't need any less. That's the movie. So interesting that it's split between being shot in and around Madrid and Northern California, right?
Yeah, I think it's mostly some of the interiors that were in Madrid. All of the external stuff, I believe, is in California. And you could tell me more, really, because you're more familiar with that terrain. But
you could shoot so much stuff in so many parts of Spain and say it's California, really easily, especially rural. And I bet people have and probably do all the time. I just don't know about it. Yeah, the scenery in this movie is pretty gorgeous, and I actually think I'm gonna go red hot off the bat. It's shot pretty wonderfully. I think the quality of the picture, at least, and a lot of the angle work. I actually had no complaints whatsoever with how this was shot. I was quite impressed.
I mean, I was surprised when the movie ended and I was looking at IMDb that there isn't 45 cinematographers involved in it, because it looks like every scene is shot by a different person.
Yeah. And in two different continents as well.
Yeah, there are truly some unhinged camera work in this movie. That scene in the church, I'm not going to get too deep into it because we're not into spoilers just yet, but that scene in the church when the camera slowly pans from like waist height across a load of people's faces to try and make them look ominous.
Yeah.
And then there's that weird shot where everyone's grabbing the dirt. It's like it's bonkers. I love that shit. Like that.
I like that.
That stuff is like manna for me, but like completely unhinged and completely at odds with the rest of the movie.
It felt like what filmmakers seem to feel the need to do with a lot of Stephen King properties in this time period. Like that funeral scene felt very Pet Sematary. You know, it's not a million miles away in shooting. There's a scene where someone's on a payphone outdoors and it's just shot really cleverly. Just there's an angle to it that looks great. The light's really cool. The opening scene I think is shot really well. The car wash scene. We'll talk a little bit more about that, I guess. Spoilers, but
yeah,
there's a lot of this where I was not revolted whatsoever by the composition of the shots and the way it was all put together. Yeah, I thought that was a really strong element of it from the get-go. Basically, when I put these movies on that I've never heard of, don't know anything about, just seen the cover, I either get really excited in the first 5 minutes, or I think, oh boy, I'm gonna have to fucking grit this one out a little bit. But this one, like, visually had me straight away. I thought that opening scene was up there with, like, you know, like the opening scene of Falling Down, how that looks and how that makes you feel, stuff like that. Maybe not quite as cinematically spectacular as that, but it was conjuring an emotion. It was shot nicely. It built some tension. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Joel Schumacher is known for his beautiful camera work, right?
Is that?
I'm being facetious there, but he directed Falling Down.
What else has he done that ruins everything?
Batman Forever.
Brilliant. Batman Forever does look kind of cool. I mean, it is bad, but
I think Batman Forever might be my favorite of those Batman movies.
I would have bet every single shred of material possessions I have, which isn't much, but I would bet everything I own that you would pick that as your favorite Batman movie.
I think like it's the one that was the one when I was 12 years old. So like, and it's Jim Carrey, and it's fucking Tommy Lee Jones.
I think Barton Fawkes from this movie should have been played by Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he looks like sort of Jim Carrey mixed with C. Thomas Howell. It's that guy.
Definitely. He's got an enormous, absolutely, incredibly far-reaching IMDb page of 2 feature-length films.
Yeah. This movie doesn't really star anyone.
No.
Going back to what you were saying, I just want to say this before we get into spoilers, really, is that I think that I really like the opening kill, and we'll talk about it in a bit more depth, but like the way that the movie, and I was thinking about like how this is something that we talk about a lot because it's something that you like in movies that I'd never really considered as like a thing that I'd verbalized before, but like a sense of place. And I feel like you instantly get a really strong sense of place. It feels like a populated area, but it doesn't feel like a big city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks amazing. It would be difficult to shoot these locations, these exteriors, and make it look bad. But like, I think like the way that we instantly feel like we're in a place, a real place. I guess you can't build a car wash on a set. Probably
not. No. And I think having the opening kill in a car wash, to me, was pretty novel. I haven't seen that in a movie before. Have you seen like a classic?
No, I don't think so.
Slasher kill in a car wash? I hadn't. There's a lot they could have done that I think would have been more fun potentially. Surely you just missed the whole trick of somehow having the entire car wash turn to blood. Like that would be so sick.
Yeah, but that
like,
seems
pull her
a bit...
out, chuck her up in the mechanism or whatever. Like
so, I feel like I have seen that before. Maybe someone gets stuck in a car wash, and they'd have to climb out of the sunroof, and they get smashed by the whizzy blades. Maybe there should be a movie about not blades,
kill a car wash.
Yeah,
that'd
but
be
like
sick.
Someone replaces all the big bristles with blades.
Yeah.
Or nails or something.
Yeah,
that would be
awesome.
Fucking sick.
Count me in. All you got to do is buy a car wash and you and you can make it.
The Farmer 2, the car wash.
The car wash, yeah. Big Farmer 2. car wash revenge.
All right, shall we take a break, Sam, so we can come back and talk some absolute spoilers about Edge of the Axe, and you can tell me what you really think.
Yeah, let's get spoiled.
Whoa, holy shit. I guess that's why they call it Phantom Power.
All right, Sam, I'm back. Are you back?
Yo, yeah. I was back way before you, bud. I'm ready.
You were not. That's a fucking lie. Let's talk more about this car wash kill.
Yeah.
We're in spoilers. I want to get into it. So, this is an homage to Psycho, right?
I assume a little bit. Kinda.
Like, what is a car wash if not a big shower for cars? The way that the kill is edited,
Yeah.
it's edited the same as the Psycho kills.
Yeah.
And none of the other kills in the movie are edited like that. You also get like the blood running down and mixing with the soapy water. I'm pretty sure it is a on the nose homage to Psycho, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I thought it's either that or we're in for the most neutered, censored slasher movie since Friday the 13th Part 7. Like, obviously this is before, but like we could be like really in Strugsville here. And then when the next couple of kills happen, I was like, oh, so yeah, maybe that was a straight up Psycho bit. Because it is a deliberate choice not to see her hacked to death, right? It's very cut away, cut back, cut away. So yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
You never see the penetration of the axe.
No.
The same way that you don't see the penetration of the knife in Psycho.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought that instantly. I was like, we're doing Psycho. And I thought it was cool.
I thought it was a great kill. Fully into it. Some great angles, some really clever stuff with like the suds on the windscreen. You sort of like partially obscured view. I think she delivers a great performance. She's really quite interesting to look at when she's just behaving normally in the car to start with. And then as the fear builds, you sort of see a pretty genuine looking performance of sort of, you know, the oncoming threat is kind of realized, and then she's, you know, being attacked. I thought she did great.
Yeah, I imagine like being in one of those like automated car washes and seeing like a looming figure like getting through the suds coming towards you. That is not something that I considered to be scary, but like I imagine that actually would be quite fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and I think they make it terrifying, like, because the only reason that would ever happen is if like a maintenance person was coming to turn something off, like if something had gone wrong. So you're already like, oh fuck, something's going wrong with the car wash. And then when they start killing you, it's probably significantly more alarming.
Yeah, if I wasn't scared of them coming towards me, I'd definitely be scared when they were waving an axe in my face.
I'll probably start bricking it a bit when they started chopping me to bits. Yeah, I thought that was a very cool way to start a movie as well. Just a totally like setupless, no build up, no context, no idea who anyone is or what's happening. Just woman gets killed in a car wash. Nice.
Okay, so tell me your general thoughts on Edge of the Axe.
I think I'm going to figure it out as we go, to be totally honest, because I wasn't absolutely fucking dicks racing at half mast for this movie on first watch. There were bits of it where I absolutely howled, like laughed my ass off. There were bits where I thought, that's very cleverly done. That's a nod to something that I like. This whole aesthetic is kind of cool. But there were some wow fundamental weaknesses that really inched the rug out from my enjoyment throughout the movie. That being said, as far as like dumb as fuck popcorn slashers on a Friday night go, you could go further wrong, I think is probably my verdict. But I am so torn because I want to hear you say how much you loved it and really pump its plums to maybe cheer me up about it a little bit, because I might have been a bit hard on it at first. But I didn't have a lot of fun, I'll be honest.
I mean, I did love it.
Yeah, I thought you
like
might.
A lot. I think like it is a grossly uneven, in parts downright terrible movie, but I never found it boring. Like when it's being terrible, it's being hilarious.
Yeah.
And when it's being great, I think it's being genuinely good. I think the kills, for the most part, are incredible. I watched the first proper axe penetration kill. Sounds more graphic than
Not what it is, yeah.
Yeah. But like the first kill where you actually see someone get hacked up with an axe, I watched that maybe 5 or 6 times because I was like, that looks like a real axe. That looks like somebody really swinging a real axe. And that looks like someone getting hit with an axe.
Yeah, they
So,
do
like,
a good
how-
job of really swinging it.
Yeah. So like how is this happening? Are they
Yeah.
just like, is it a fake axe, but they're just doing really well at like acting a real axe? There's a kill later where the axe doesn't look, or the axe motion doesn't look like it's the heavy real axe.
Sure.
That stuff really, really sort of blew me away.
Yeah.
And it was drifting towards boring. So after that sort of opening kill, there's like a 28-minute stretch, 26-minute stretch of like nothing, no more kills.
Yeah.
Until something happens. I think I said out loud to my cat, like, "Oh, fucking kill better happen soon." And that was the moment the woman leaves the bar.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like almost genius that they've like timed it like kind of beautifully to be like, "Oh, I'm on the edge of like this is getting to be shit now."
Yeah.
And they're like, here it is. Here's your kill.
I can't think that's what it is. It's 2025. Do you know what I mean? I think in the 80s, there's probably an argument either way for this, but like people who aren't us, quote unquote normal people, would have given up on that after about 5 minutes of no kill and no charisma and no fun and nothing to hang your hat on. They wouldn't have waited 25 minutes.
I think there was plenty of stuff that I was enjoying and hanging my hat on. I love the fucking old guy that the dude lives with for no good reason.
Yeah, he's fun.
I mean,
I thought it was his dad.
No, it's just an old guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I sort of like that they're not at a summer camp, but because it's a mountain town in Northern California, there's kind of summer camp vibes, and some of those archetypes are still present. You still have people who feel very summer campy without it being another.
It kind of reminded me of My Bloody Valentine in as much as like these are ostensibly adults living adult lives and going out in the daytime. Like we get a lot of daytime stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean the car wash kill happens in the middle of the day, and it's
pretty cool.
Like,
yeah.
Not something that you get to see loads. I mean, even in My Bloody Valentine, which I think is only relevant because they're also ostensibly adults, but they're kind of infantilized by the fact that they're young adults and they're forced to have their parties underground or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was cool. And like your main guy, Gerald, he doesn't have adult vibes.
No, they're both very immature. But I'm not saying that as a criticism. Like they're not particularly grown up men, are they? They're very childlike in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean the other guy, Richard, is married to the female lead from Watch Out We're Mad, which is probably my favorite Terence Hill and Bud Spencer movie, who you've recently fallen in love with.
Interesting.
From that fucking Franks and Beans game or whatever it was called.
Slaps and Beans. Yep, me and Dave completed both Slaps and Beans games in one day on mushrooms, and it was great. Back when I had days off. Yeah, don't know. I mean, he's not like emotionally mature, is he? And that's what makes him, like you said, a kind of an infantilized douche canoe.
Yeah, and like he loves computers and computer games, and I guess fixes anything electronic.
Yeah.
At one point, a guy, he's like, "I can't come for a date tonight because someone's asked me to fix some videotapes."
Fix some videotapes. Yeah.
And like, I think there's loads of really terrible stuff to enjoy.
You really have to be in the mood to enjoy that kind of terrible, though. Do you know what I mean?
I'm always in the mood to enjoy terrible stuff.
I'm so jealous of how you just get yourself there, dude. Like, you always get yourself there. I'm impressed by it. I think the thing in this that made me genuinely put my hands on my head and go, "What?" and then laugh for about 10 minutes.
That one dubbed guy.
No, he was great. He was funny. It's when the romantic scene where they're typing on the computer and like typing to the central question bank or whatever the fuck they're trying to pull, and they're just about to kiss, and he says, "What did you ask it?" And she goes, "I asked it if you're gay." What the fuck? Such bad writing. Come on. Who says that in that moment? What is happening? It's so childish. It's like something a 5-year-old would say.
I think that the vibe is like, why haven't you kissed me yet? Are you
But
gay?
it doesn't work. Like, it's quite literally something two 5-year-olds would say to each other, and it's right in the middle of like what's supposed to be a kind of steamy, like romantic, dorky sex scene. And I loved it. I gotta be honest. That's the moment where I was like, all right, fuck it. I might as well be all in at this point. I'm gonna slam the laptop shut and walk out.
I quite like again, this is a so bad it's good type thing, but I quite like when they're sort of communicating via chat.
I like that, yeah.
And the computer is reading out all of the things in a really weird voice.
It just sounds like someone is standing behind the camera reading it. I was so confused at first. I was like, his voice changed. Is this a dubbing thing? Like he's reading off the screen in a completely different voice. I was like, oh my God, it's supposed to be the computer talking. It's so whack.
Yeah. I think like that stuff is so much fun. It makes me think that they were having fun.
It is. That stuff is super fun. But you've already mentioned My Bloody Valentine. To me, having come hot and fresh out of that particular kitchen and had such a great time with it, this just felt like such a pale derivative pile of shit compared to that on its own. But it does, like everything My Bloody Valentine does, this fucks to dust terribly. Like just absolute. It's like tripping around drunk bad at times. Their attempt to pull off a slasher with soul and substance. Do you know what I mean? But then if you remove all that and you think to yourself, right, maybe it's just trying to be dumb and fun, then you can, kind of enjoy it.
It comes across like it's just they're just having a goofy fun time. Like, I don't know if that's true, because I think about like the interviews with Claudio Fagrasso when he's talking about making Troll 2.
Right.
And he thinks that movie's a fucking serious masterpiece.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care if people think it's the worst movie ever, because it's like, I've just got to keep making movies, man.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get it. And like, I wonder, and like, obviously he's Italian, so it's a bit different.
Yeah,
this guy's Spanish.
Yeah.
And this guy made some real movies, some actual good movies.
Yeah. I don't think it's meant to be funny, dude. I think it's happenstance that some of it is hysterical in 2025.
A thing that I think is really funny is the increasingly absurd, like, third character that is always hanging around with the cops. So, like, in the first cop scene, it's like a one guy with a beard.
Yeah.
And then in the next cop scene, it's that guy with that fucking insane mustache.
Yeah, the crazy outfit. Was he supposed to be like a fucking admiral or something? What do they call him? I can't remember.
No idea.
Something
like
ridiculous, like mullet, mustache, and looks like me. It's so bad.
But I think, like, when we're in the slasher scenes, they are really effective. I think they're genuinely quite scary. Apart from like the dead dog bit,
bad.
Doesn't work for me because the blood is pouring through the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that's cool. And then when you go upstairs and she sees the dead dog looks pretty cool, but like there's not the amount of blood coming out of the dead dog.
It's like no blood. It's like a little trickle.
Yeah, I don't want to see loads of blood coming out of a dead dog. I'm okay with that. But
I don't want to see the dead dog at all. Just like always, slashers, do something else. If it's not an earned dog death that's supposed to really upset us, don't throw it away.
Especially like with the twist that comes out is that like the killer is killing people specifically because of a thing that we'll talk about later. Because we're in spoilers, but I'm not sure I'm ready to spoil the end of the movie just yet.
Not ready to bust your wad.
Yeah, but the dog didn't do anything.
No.
Maybe the dog should have been like, oh, it's the security guard's dog or something.
Yeah.
And like it would have made sense or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're gonna have blood come through a ceiling, like fucking think of something better than a dog. I tell you what I loved with a capital V was the discovery of the corpse swinging around upside down. Yeah. And all the misdirection that the sheriff is the killer. I really enjoyed that because it's so dumb when he's just like, well, it looks like an accident, like just trying to write everything off as like a complete, she must have been hit by a train. Like that stuff was fun. Because I legit thought, holy fuck, it's actually going to be the sheriff. I thought that the whole movie.
Well, I mean, I love all of the misdirection and the fact that like, I mean, one of my main criticisms of My Bloody Valentine was that I didn't think the mystery was strong.
You didn't think it made sense that the guy who did it, right?
Yeah, but like I don't think that they set up the mystery because they tell us who they think the killer is all the way through.
Right.
Whereas with this that it's an actual mystery. It's a stupid mystery,
It's
And the
so
way-
bad.
and like they set it up and they shoot everybody in a way that makes them. Everyone's got their own little ominous theme tune.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
And, like,
fun, undeniable
yeah.
fun.
I think it's great, and like the creepy like choir piano guy that they really set up to be the killer like towards the end. I think he is. If he's not the killer, he's a killer.
He's a killer in real life, yeah, for sure. I mean, you must have. I mean, I know you, so I know how you think. There's no way you thought it was any of these misdirection characters. But if you had to pick one, if someone said to you, it is actually one of them, who do you think it is? Who would you have picked?
The main guy, Gerald.
Really, you would have picked Gerald?
Yeah, I mean, like it's all of the misdirection and like all of the clues and bits of weird stuff that it drops aside.
Yeah.
He is the most obvious to me, and like I think that they were. I don't think that the twist reveal of who the killer is really makes any sense.
I'm not convinced. Well, it definitely doesn't make any sense, but I'm also not convinced. I walked away from that film knowing who the killer was. That was so bad. It can't
Right,
be. Are we going to talk about it? Or what?
Yeah, let's get into super duper spoilers. So I'm going to spoil the twist now. So the reveal is that the girl, what's her name?
Lillian.
Lillian Nebs is the killer, and she's invented this sort of fractured psyche
Brother. Dead brother.
cousin.
Oh, cousin. Yeah, sorry. Dead brother. Living cousin. Yeah, brain injured cousin.
Yeah, and he's the killer, but she's really the killer because they're the same person. He never existed.
Yeah.
And like, sure, whatever.
No, not sure. That's fucking trash. So
Like
bad.
it's as trash as the reveal in My Bloody Valentine.
No, don't you dare.
I mean, it is.
Let's fucking talk about the fucking woolen mammoth in the room here. The killer is a dude, a huge hulking man.
I think what we're seeing is Lillian's like POV. So she thinks that it's like she envisions it as a big hulking man.
You see his face. It's a man. It's 100% a dude.
Yeah,
He's
so I
a
think what
fucking huge guy in a like trench coat rain slicker thing with giant clumping boots walking around like he's muscular as fuck. He's swinging an axe around like it's made of balsa wood. He's brutally killing people left, right, and center. Like, nah. Plus, why? What's the motive
Why
for
what?
the people that she kills?
they're all the people that were involved in her being in the psych ward
Well, who's the first woman?
in the car wash.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Patty
like
Shepherd. Oh, she's in
a-
kind of like a nurse's uniform, right?
yeah,
that the
there's a nurse
implication?
thing on the car, so yeah, she's one of the nurses.
Oh,
So
see,
they're
I
all-
saw that and I thought that was like an old American thing for blood donors or something. I thought the Red Cross was like, if you died in a car wreck, you'd have like a little Red Cross thing on there and they'd know to fucking scrape your blood into a test tube and donate it or
Yeah,
whatever.
scoop your blood off the road and put it.
Yeah, whatever they did back in the 80s. Okay, well, that makes sense then. Okay, all right, fine. So,
Yeah.
so just for viewers who maybe lost interest in the movie by this point, she thinks that she's created an alter ego almost of this imaginary cousin that she had that she pushed off a swing that smashed his cranium open and went to a loony bin. But in reality, she went to the loony bin and
Yeah.
came out a deranged killer, a psychopath, according to her records. And she apparently is going around killing everyone that had anything to do with her time in the psychiatric ward.
Yeah, the records say that she has psychoamnesia.
Psychoamnesia, sick. Yeah, which I like. That was cool.
Yeah, my favorite thrash band.
Psycho. Yeah, isn't that one of Hamish's new bands? So no, I'm not. It's not well enough fleshed out. It's not set up well enough. It's not It's not done well. Is my main problem there. I'm not going to list. Oh, let me list the reasons, but it's not done well.
Again. I mean, I'm not going to spoil My Bloody Valentine here, but they give us much more explanation here than they ever do in My Bloody Valentine, and that's all I'm going to say.
I actually think I will fully concede that they're about the same. Like, she kills because, and he kills because. That's about all you get. And you're given more in My Bloody Valentine in terms of at least like flashbacks and a little bit of exposition from other characters. In this, you don't. You just get this cold hard reveal. And again, like, it's such a shit reveal that I was like, no, I've fucked this up. I've missed something. He is the killer, and she's slipped somehow. Like, she's double MacGuffined him and got out of it. And then she smiles, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, ugh.
I love the ending. I love
like it,
when people who are the goodie just die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say that this guy is as good as Dwayne in Night of the Living Dead, but like, it's a similar fate.
Yeah,
and I respect it.
Yeah, and one of the clever things there, I think, is maybe that you don't really give a fuck about him enough to be like, oh no, they killed Dylan, or whatever his name is.
Gerald.
Gerald, that's it. But you also aren't like, oh, fuck me, like, who cares? There's somewhere in the middle there where you're like, huh, they killed the kind of good guy who'd figured it out. Nice.
A thing that I didn't understand in the ending, which, given that you didn't understand the ending, you probably can't help me with, but like...
Story of the pod. Jamie arrives with a question that cannot be answered.
So she's like, is your dad Dr. Martin?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's my stepdad.
Yeah.
Did she kill his stepdad and he came to town to try and get revenge? Or did he...
Oh my God, I hadn't even
like,
thought of
is
that.
he there to try and find her?
So
And that's why he's got all the stuff on his computer. Like, he's looking for her. Like, he doesn't know that he's looking for her specifically. But, like,
my God.
Is that why he's there? Is that why he's in Paddock County, California?
Well, we're never told specifically why he's there, are we? I thought he was like summer vacation for a computer nerd or something was the whole premise. But wait, all right, hold on. Let me get my head around this. The Marleys were dead to begin with. So his stepdad is dead, right?
I don't know if they say that, but she's like,
I didn't think he
Dr.
was.
Martin your stepdad? I can't remember if we see him on the list of, like, people that she's killed.
Yeah. All right, that's a big don't know for both of us. If he was alive, which I had assumed he was, I thought she was killing him just as like a way to kill the stepdad. Do you know what I mean? Just like they couldn't have the stepdad be in love with her or whatever. So he's the next best thing. I don't know. I wasn't investing an enormous amount of time and energy into the logic of this film at this point. I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I mean, fine, sure, yeah. The suspension of disbelief in this movie isn't the problem. Like, it's it's not the biggest leap. Unfortunately, it's the boring small town drama stuff that doesn't really go anywhere. That's spicy and peppered a little bit with the cool character actor aspects and the fact that there's weird dubbing, and that keeps shit clicking a little bit. But there's far too much time in this where we're getting no insight into the meat and potatoes of the movie, which is the killer and why any of this is happening. And I'm starting to think it's because he's a dude and it's impossible to reconcile the big man killer with the, very spry, small, young woman killer that we're supposed to believe it is at the end. So you just can't show him very much.
There is that. I think, like, once you get past that 26-minute, like, opening kill to stalking kill, which, I mean, I love that stalking kill. I think it's great. I think once you get past that, the pace is picked up exponentially from there. Like, we get kills every 6 or 7 minutes.
But I think that's the weirdest thing for me, and maybe I'm misremembering. I'll be totally willing to... Well, no, I'm not going to rewatch it, let's be honest. But I think maybe... So for me, that first part was the bit that I was in on. Like, the first kill hooked me in enough to stick out. Because I was like, right, characters are getting established. We're learning about relationships. We've got some fucking dog-awful dialogue. What good fun. And then we get a kill that's great, but shit starts drifting after that for me. There's too much nothing between the kills. Because it's not heightening the mystery, really. Like, some of the dialogue is, sure, but I love a slasher when we've got a real good rate of pace. We go to the police station. We go to the family talking about it at the dinner table. We go to the kids out on a Friday night. We go here, we go there, we go here, we go there. We just sort of putter around for a big chunk of this movie. And, yeah, that's fine. Decent enough background stuff, but it didn't get galloping for me, really. The dicks weren't hot out the gate.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Time is subjective. I think we just perceived time differently.
A thing that I wrote in my notes, Sam, I want to check this with you, is that I wrote, Sam Russo loves the Play With Your Tita song.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that, yeah. I loved all the songs. The songs are fucking awful.
Well, the Play With Your Tita was the one that the characters sing in the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
It's great. That was awesome. The country song with the female singer sounds like Helen Chambers.
So I think the scored music in The Kills,
Yeah.
I thought was amazing.
Very good,
I really,
yeah.
really rated it. The soundtrack music in the rest of the movie was awful.
Yeah.
And the thing that annoyed me the most about the movie, and it's the very last thing that happens, is that we get that
Oh, yeah.
Gerald gets shot, and there's like really intense like slasher music playing, and then she does the hug with the cops, and she does the smile, and the credits start, and it immediately clicks into that country song,
Yeah.
like instantly.
It's
and I was like,
so
let me have a
jarring.
second. Let me just have one moment to process this before you start playing this fucking egregious, weird, low rent country at me.
It's so poor.
As a man that loves country music, like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
I know, and it's all so quick. It's like, wham, it's her. Wham, he's been shot. Wham, she smiled. Did country time. Like the smile to the country song is such a wanky transition. Ugh.
But like that makes me think that they must be having fun because
I think it's just badly
it feels
done,
like
dude. The smile's supposed to be ominous. It's supposed to be menacing.
Well, yeah.
And they just fuck it up.
that's
with
what I
the
mean. But like
song.
it feels like a joke. It feels like a punchline. Like we're not going to let you enjoy the weight of this moment. We're going to pull the rug out from under you. If that's again, like we've talked about me giving filmmakers credit for things that they absolutely do not do.
I think you're giving Jose a lot of license here. I think he just fucking was asleep at the wheel for that decision, and that's a menacing smile that should have been accompanied by deep, dark, carpenterial synth, right?
Yeah.
And instead, it hard transitions to the jauntiest nonsense movie storyline in a country song moment you've ever experienced. And I listened to the whole thing. I did not shut the laptop in disgust. I listened to the whole thing. Rough ride. The worst music in the movie is the scored music for normal everyday stuff. It's fucking brutal. It's a weird mix of like country synth. It's just fucking punishing. Spanish is all I can think it is. Like, it's super weird.
My favorite, most hilarious moment in the movie is when they're at the church or whatever, and the really spooky guy is playing the organ in fucking massive quotes, and it's fucking like a tiny piano, and it's just playing this insane pipe organ music,
Just booming.
and the
like
way that it stops when he stops playing, it's like someone's just pressed stop on the tape player. It's fucking so good. I haven't laughed that much at a movie. I loved it. I loved that.
Yeah,
But, like,
pretty good.
It's so funny that like there are moments that are like that, and then there are moments that are I think genuinely quite scary. Like when the woman goes in the cupboard to get the shotgun, and you just sort of see a little glimpse of the mask.
Yeah.
Quite scary. The stuff with all the pigs, the pig head. I couldn't decide if the pig head looked shit or looked great.
I think it was.
I don't know what a severed pig head looks like.
Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of severed pig heads. I think that's real, but potentially with a fake eye for some bizarre reason. I think maybe they wanted the eye to pop a bit more, because pigs have very beautiful, almost human eyes, and I think that was an addition, potentially like a fucking googly eye. But I wouldn't bet the house on it. Yeah, the pig head was kind of scary. Makes no sense. Why? But we're not answering questions like why apparently in this anymore. So
I think that the movie originally, my guess is that it ended and Barton Fawkes was cousin Charlie.
It's too late in the. Is it too? I don't know. They really push that at the end. They push it way more than anyone else. We're supposed to discard all other suspects at that point.
Yeah. Well, like, so the moment when she's pushing him on the swing,
Yeah.
and then she has the weird flashback and sees cousin Charlie.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the moment they were there, because they'd sort of vaguely set up that she had this cousin and that he bonked his head or whatever. So I think,
for our American listeners, bonking your head is hitting your head.
I think that's what we call having sex in the UK.
Yeah. But she even goes as far as to be like, what's that scar on the back of your head? Like, it's so nailed on.
Yeah, and like, so that obviously turns out to be misdirection, but I think originally that was the plot. And they just decided to change it because they were like, you know what? Let's be progressive Spaniards and have a woman killer.
I'm going to fucking go with you on that, Jamie. I think you're right. I think that was the idea the whole way through, and then they just added a scene at the end where it turns out it's her. I think somebody was like, nah, we've made it too obvious, because they really hammer it on at the end.
Yeah.
But there is absolutely no reason otherwise. Well, they would have had to go back and shoot some stuff about her. Don't know. Can't say for sure. Think I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like, it does look like him in the mask and the coat. It definitely looks like him when you see the killer without their mask, when he's chasing the promiscuous lady character.
Yeah.
Do they say that $100 is a lot or like not much?
No, I think they're implying it's a lot. I mean, in '88, I mean, I'm the less I say about this, the better. I think. Good hooker.
I like her.
I like her a lot, and
Yeah.
I think we suffer on this podcast. We really suffer for our art with the amount of bad hookers we have to deal with. She's great.
I can't believe that we are 50-50 evens on dead pets and dead hookers.
Yeah, this movie is teetering on the fucking precipice of rough hangs, somehow just staying in there. Yeah, I really enjoyed the whole hooker thing, and I think there's something to be said for a movie made by Spanish dudes where the hooker is insanely hot.
Yeah.
Good fun.
Another thing that made me laugh that I really enjoyed is when he gets back to his apartment or room in this house or whatever, and the girl is there, Lillian's there, and he's like, I'll make us some coffees. And he's like, pulls off to the kitchen and gets 2 styrofoam cups. And then in the next scene, the woman's like, oh, I'm going to drink some whiskey. And she just pours a highball of like bourbon.
It's like they've never been real people. Like they were literally born yesterday. The things they say are so ridiculous. Like, would you like a Coke? Yes, I'd love a Coke. Are the Cokes cold? What are you talking about? Fuck off. There's so much shocking dialogue. Yeah, lots of like first day on Earth lines, dialogue generally. I don't know, man.
What about you're going to get in trouble and have microchips for brains?
Yeah, so good. I guess my problem is, right, okay, I've figured it out. Thanks for going through this with me, but because nobody on the screen in this film has one cell of charisma in their entire being, the lines that are funny are delivered so fucked. Like there's just no owning the silliness, and that's crucial to me to have a good time, really. So
Yeah.
I think if we'd had a cast that had fucking 6% more charisma and get up and go and a bit of spunk, you know, if we had like an evil, for example, or like just even if it's dumb and bad, at least know that what you're delivering is tenuously even dialogue and run with it. We didn't get it.
I completely disagree.
I fucking knew you would.
I think people that deliver terrible dialogue earnestly are my favorite people in the world.
You love that shit, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Like, it's so much more special. You think
Why?
about the movie Birdemic, right?
I'll think about it.
Why what?
But
Like,
why? Why is that a good? Why is that a special thing? I just can't get on board with it.
people who don't understand that what they're doing is wrong and bad is better than people that are like twirling their mustache and leaping around. Do you know what I mean? Like I mean I love
Strong
Evil.
argument.
I think he's doing something cool and fun in the confines of like what is ostensibly a comedy, but in a movie that is being played completely straight and has these sort of so bad they're good elements. They have to be earnest. Think about The Room, right? The Room is hilarious because it's fucking awful and everyone's really committed to how terrible this movie is. But then
Yeah.
when it came out and Tommy Wiseau realized that everyone was laughing at it, he pivoted to making comedy in the same way. It doesn't work if he's in on the joke.
Sure.
Not being in on the joke is funnier in some contexts.
For sure, in some, yeah. But I think when I'm watching a slasher, I don't really want to laugh at how bad it is. I want to laugh at how funny it is. And that's just a key component of enjoying the movie for me. Maybe I just have higher expectations. I just think it's good filmmaking to make aspects of a slasher really funny, like laugh out loud funny. I think that's hard. So I really respect it when it happens. I think it's almost sad when you're laughing at how poor it is because it could have just been good. Do you know what I mean? Like I see the missed potential, I guess. This, like you said, on paper, this has all the fixings of a really good slasher. And what we get is, you know, sparkly moments, but a big patchwork quilt of complete fuck-ups. Ultimately,
Like I say, I think when the
entertaining.
movie's good, it's good.
Yeah.
When the movie's bad, it's fun.
I would go as far as to say when the movie's good, it's fine. When the movie's bad, fuck me. So we're not far off, you know?
Yeah.
Not a million miles apart on this one.
All right, Sam. I'm gonna let you off the hook now. Let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll finish ourselves off.
All right, bro. I'll finish you off if you finish me.
Come on, man. Does that thing even work? No. There's nothing out there. It's just dead air.
Oh, wait. I'm back. You back?
I am back, Sam.
What a coincidence.
Very recently, Sam, you have released some tour dates in the north of America.
It's very true, my good buddy.
So you're going to go there and play some shows.
I am.
In-
It's coming
in
up.
Boozer Fest and in Colorado.
Yeah, man. May 2025. If you want to go to @SamRussoMusic on Instagram or go to redscare.net, you'll find Denver, Colorado Springs, Kansas City, Chicago, Toronto, and Montreal Boozer Fest with the band Elway. That's going to be a hell of a tour.
Read those tour dates again and other ones like it over at redscare.net.
Do it. And buy some records while you're there. Holy cow. You could do worse things with your time and money.
Okay. Do you want to sum up your thoughts and give me a score?
Yeah. Here's how I feel now that I've been told how to feel. I think what this movie is for me, and this is niche as fuck in terms of categories. Let's say you're off work sick, which nowadays I have to be catastrophically unwell to do. But let's say like genuinely got like a pretty bad case of the flu and you're coming out of it, like you're starting to feel human again, and you just want to pop a dumb slasher on a sunny Friday afternoon. And you suddenly start watching this movie and you start thinking, do you know what? Oh, I'm so glad I'm not at work. This movie's fine. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And maybe you brave it and you treat yourself to a little snack or a beverage and you're like, yeah, things could be worse. This movie would fill that gap really nicely because it does nothing that really is egregiously bad. It doesn't insult your intelligence too much. It doesn't take a dump on all the conventions of a slasher that we want that bring us comfort. And it doesn't blaze unsettling new territory that makes you feel alienated from the genre. So it's fairly safe in that regard. It is dumb as a shoe, but it has lots of really interesting aspects to it too, and it is shot really pleasingly for my money. The kills are few and far between, which is a criticism from my end, but the ones that stick the landing big time. I enjoyed it for the most part. There were parts I was really bored of, but I was watching it really intently because it's a slasher and I want to pay lots of attention. So slap it in, chill the fuck out, and try and enjoy the hijinks would be my advice. I'm going to give this movie 5.2 talking computers out of 12.1.
Okay.
Didn't upset me too much. Kind of enjoyed it. Just have a lot of things on my wish list if they ever remake it. Look at it that way. One of them being, I don't know, Crispin Glover, for example. Man, all this episode has made me want to do is watch My Bloody Valentine.
I preferred this to My Bloody Valentine.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to get into my sum up now, Sam.
You've already summed it up for me, mate. I'm not sure I want to hear the rest. What the fuck? You can't.
So, I think it's massively uneven, but I think the so bad it's good stuff is so bad that it's good. The stuff that's good, I think, is good. Some of the stuff that is great, I think, is great. I think the major problems for me, and I mean, I've not mentioned this, but the major problem for me is in the second half of the movie, I feel so hemmed in knowing that this amazing, like, landscape is outside and we don't spend any more time in it.
Very good point.
And that really hurts me and makes me feel really hemmed in and having a less of a good time. And if people weren't getting hit with an axe in those moments, I would be truly upset.
Yeah, miss a trick not having more great axe killings outside, right? Or more killings outside generally in a slasher, please. Yeah.
I also haven't mentioned this because I knew that it would massively temper your enjoyment and review of the movie, but like it does have a lot of genetics in common with like a giallo.
Oh,
so
sure.
like it does have that sort of giallo feel. It has that sort of mystery element, and the director had made a bunch of like Spanish giallo back in the 70s. It doesn't feel. It feels much more like an American slasher than it does like a giallo, but it does have a bit of that giallo stuff in there, and I'm always a sucker for that. So I rate it.
They're all welcome elements as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I like that combination. I think that's a cool. It's like a fucking Tex-Mex platter, baby.
It is exactly like a Tex-Mex platter, baby. Did you notice the Tennant's like beer sign in the bar basement?
No,
because I did, and Tennant's is like a Scottish beer.
So funny. I love it when like the shittest UK beer is like the premium drink of choice in America.
Yeah, it was like Tennant's Premium Export or something like that. It was that's what the sign said.
In Rimini, I once had a pint of Special Brew, Carlsberg Special Brew, which they were calling like an imported strong beer, and it was a fucking full-on pint of Special Brew, what we would consider to be the absolute worst beer on the entire UK beer market. Yeah. The exclusive sole reserve of what drunks will pound in the morning before they drive their kids to school. And I invented the espresso brew that night. Drop an espresso in a pint of Special Brew. Get that down you.
Nice. Like an Irish tramp.
Yeah, sure.
Like putting booze in your coffee is like making it Irish, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
the other way around.
Yeah.
It's probably like an Italian cop's breakfast.
Yeah. Crack an egg in it, and that's literally...
Yep.
Have a couple of those before they go out and beating up people.
Have a cig like in each corner of your mouth while you down it. Yeah, for sure.
I can see Franco Nero chugging that. Absolutely.
That's what we're going to call it from now on, the Franco Nero.
Yeah. So, I think the twist is cool. I don't think it makes any fucking sense, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they've got like a female slasher killer.
I also can't agree that it is a female slasher killer, unfortunately, but carry on.
Yeah, that's fine. And I agree with that. I love, like I mentioned, the unhinged camera work. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
Almost feels like, and this isn't right, but we've talked about this before. It's like, do you know when like someone is fresh to directing and they don't really understand the rules? This guy's made like 40 movies, so he knows the rules.
Yeah.
And he's just breaking them.
But is he breaking them because of the clash between Spanish and American cinema? Is the break in the fissure?
I think like that insane close-up stuff in the funeral and like when they're panning over the choir and stuff. I don't know anyone that would do that in any culture.
Della Morte, Della More.
It does feel more Italian in those moments.
Yeah.
But it also feels a bit fucking like Nollywood. Like
Nollywood, Italian, fucking Stephen King, like a bunch of weird influences and a big old scrambled omelette.
It makes me think that they are trying to be funny.
Trying
Maybe
to do
they're
a
not
thing.
succeeding, but
Sure.
like trying to be amusing in some way. Because like the Stephen King stuff that those remind me of, it's more like those weird interstitial bits in Creepshow where it's like,
Sure.
hey, look, this is a comic panel
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, I think this is a good movie. I think
Careful. You've used words like phenomenal and astounding in this. Going as far as good seems safe at this juncture.
I think that like the overall movie is inherently watchable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
And I think that it veers from so bad that it's good to good.
Mm.
And I'll take that any day of
Yeah.
the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah.
Right now.
So I would give it, 8 hefty swings of the axe into some poor woman's chest and head out of 13.
That's high. That's really high for
I
a
don't think
real
it is.
bullshit slasher. That's super high.
I think that's what it gets, what it deserves.
Wow. I'd love to see it placed with other movies. I want to know what you've rated this higher than. What do you think you rated My Bloody Valentine as?
I don't remember, but I hope it was lower because I didn't like it as much.
Wow. That is fucking unbelievable.
This is much more my speed. It was way
yeah,
more
yeah,
fun.
sure, yeah, yeah. Valentine's not much fun in the sense of like being funny,
Yeah.
but it's fun in other ways, I guess.
Yeah. The kills in that are better. Obviously, this is a single implement killer, and I don't generally love those. But if it's going to be one, it might as well be an axe.
It's
Do you know
pretty
what I mean?
like I'm not sure I love the phrase, but it's quite a workman-like killer. Do you know what I mean? It's no,
Yeah.
you don't need to know why it's an axe. No, you don't need to know why the mask is the mask. What he's wearing is absolutely immaterial.
Yeah.
They're coming for you. Chop, chop, chop. End of story. I have a small amount of respect for that. It's just not my preferred. I like lore and backstory and motivation and all those things that, movies should do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy, but yeah, he's forgettable but fine.
Snob.
Well, I mean, why? I can tell you a million reasons why this wouldn't become a sequelized, mega franchise. I think the killer is just too boring.
Yeah, I think it's one that you would maybe reconceptualize slightly for the sequel, in the same way that they do in all of the Friday the 13th movies.
In everything, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, I think you would build on what is already there
Sure.
and make it something else.
Yeah.
Because like the killer is alive and the person
Yeah.
that dies at the end is not the killer. So
Yeah.
like, and again, like apart from the soundtrack rug pull at the very end,
Yeah.
like I would find it very difficult to truly hate a movie that kills the hero as like the big act of like heroic thing at the end.
Yeah, same.
So yeah,
Tricky.
I
I think
rate
if he'd
it.
been a little bit more lovable, I would have loved that ending a bit more.
yeah.
I think
they want him to be lovable.
Yeah, they're trying real hard. I mean, he's lovable in a dorky way, but he's just not a believable enough dork. Anyway, one thing I think you need to do, Jamie, this could be your big calling. You should write the sequel because you have
Yeah.
a love of the main material. You definitely have the talent. This could be your cash cow.
What are you calling the sequel? What would you call it? Edge to the Axe.
It's got to be something terrible like that, right?
Yeah.
Edge of the Axe, but with a 2 instead of an X. Just make it even worse. Like, total nonsense.
I don't even know how that works.
It doesn't.
2 edges of the axe.
Back to the edge.
Yeah.
Back on the
Edged.
edge.
Edged to perfection.
Edge to... Edge of the Axe 2. Edged to perfection.
Edge Begley Jr.
Yeah, I reckon you could do it, bud.
Maybe I will. I wonder if there's like a fan film.
There
Everyone's
aren't
making
any
fan
fans,
films.
Jamie. You're the only fan, bud.
I'm the OnlyFans. Speaking of OnlyFans, you should make sure you're following us on our social media accounts at AFT Horror Show. That's on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok.
X.
We've got a Blue Sky, but we don't use it. We've got an X, but we also don't use it. You should make sure you're subscribed to wherever you're listening to this. Make sure you have automatic downloads turned on. Rate and review. Tell us what you think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you're on YouTube watching this, pop a little thumb up your ass. Who cares? And that's, those are all the things that you can do to show your love and support for Sam Rousseau for having to watch Boo-Hoo, a slasher film that he didn't think was the best thing in the world.
It was fine. I don't regret it. No, je
Good.
ne regrette rien. I got nothing, bud. Nothing but love.
And we'll see some of that love on next week's episode when we talk about yet another horror movie, Sam.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say another great slasher for a minute there. I was getting excited.
Well, you have to wait and see.
I can't wait.